Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Austin Reaves was non-negotiable and now he is negotiable, because the Lakers understood that Luka Doncic needs an explosive and large player by his side and to be champion next season. The best deal will be to exchange Austin Reaves and Rui Hachimura for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo has stated his desire to leave Milwaukee in the past. That certainly provides an opening for manager Rob Pelinka to make a masterful trade. Teaming up with another European star in Los Angeles is a great formula for a quick championship, because the two best talents in the world would easily fit into a title race as the league's best duo. Imagining a scenario in which LeBron James takes a pay cut after opting out of a roster spot this offseason would only add more reason to believe in the team. Giannis can chase a title in LA. The Los Angeles Lakers are always looking for their next superstar. It helped them land Luka Doncic before the trade deadline to be their latest in a lengthy list of basketball greatness. The Lakers still have LeBron James as his running mate, but the King cannot play forever. Disappointing first-round playoff exits may force both LA and Milwaukee to shake things up, and the Bucks have the best player available in Giannis Antetokounmpo. This feels like a natural crossroads. Giannis is under contract through 2027 with a player option for the 2027-28 season, but the Bucks do not have enough talent around him. Damian Lillard's torn Achilles likely sidelines him for the entire 2025-26 campaign. Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Taurean Prince, Kevin Porter Jr., and Gary Trent Jr. can all become free agents this summer. Antetokounmpo wants to chase championships, and it feels like that time is over in Milwaukee given their limited talent and lack of draft capital to improve. The Lakers would be all in, but what can they offer? The Bucks have no reason to tank because they do not control their own draft picks over the next half-decade, which could open the door for LA. Austin Reaves would be the headliner of the Lakers' best possible offer. Lakers' best realistic offer gives Bucks a chance to stay competitive. Giannis is set to make $54.1 million next season, and the Lakers are just $4.3 million under the first tax apron without a full roster. LA does not want to send out more than they get back to prevent from being hard-capped at the first apron. This deal likely involves a third team, but the Lakers would effectively part with following to get Giannis. Los Angeles Lakers receive Giannis Antetokounmpo. Milwaukee Bucks receive Austin Reaves, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Knecht, Maxi Kleber, 2031 first-round pick, for first-round swaps. The Lakers have whoever they select with their 2025 second-round draft pick to add to this package. It is light on draft capital for the Bucks, who don't own for their draft selections until 2031. Because of that, Milwaukee may try to contend without Giannis. Austin Reaves would be a borderline all-star in the East with four solid role players joining him from LA. Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Knecht, and Maxi Kleber could all be pieces that help the Bucks reach the postseason in 2026. This is a dream scenario for the Lakers. The Greek Freak said he wants the European superstars to take over the marquee markets after Doncic came to LA. Was he foreshadowing his own arrival? Antetokounmpo would have interest if he decides to leave Milwaukee, but convincing the Bucks to take less to send him to the Lakers won't be easy. Expect the Los Angeles Lakers to make their best offer. It likely is not enough for the Bucks, but this is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Every team will bid for the two-time MVP services if he becomes available. The time may be now, and it will be a league-altering move. Lakers fans are dreaming of getting lucky again. Maybe their best offer will be enough to create another super team. If any franchise can do it, the Lakers are the one. Trade rumors will become too loud to ignore for two Lakers with premature playoff exit. A disappointing playoff run could shape the future in Los Angeles. The 2024-25 season for the Los Angeles Lakers is teetering on the edge of a cliff. It will take an inspired effort for 3 straight games to undo the damage that was done in the first 4 games of the series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The last 2 contests have to be tough pills to swallow too. Both Game 3 and Game 4 were very winnable outings for the Lakers. However, a handful of issues have plagued the team and put them in this 1-3 deficit following a gutting 116-113 loss on Sunday afternoon. If the Lakers end up starting their offseason as early as next week, the rumor mill will be unforgiving. Los Angeles is never short of trade speculation. This will be even more apparent with being given the first real opportunity to retool the roster around Luka Doncic. There are two players on the Lakers, in particular, who may have to turn off their phones for some peace of mind. A roster shakeup could be larger than expected in Los Angeles. J.J. Redick played 5 players for the entire second half of the Game 4 loss in Minnesota. That should tell anyone all they need to know about the current roster and rotation. For the past 2 games, the key players on the Lakers have just run out of gas in crunch time. It was more obvious in the Game 3 when the Lakers were outscored 13-1 down the final stretch of the fourth quarter. However, it was the same story in Game 4 with the Lakers losing the fourth by a margin of 32-19. Austin Reaves and Rui Hachimura have been 2 players that have been important to the Lakers this season and in years past. They also represent 2 prime candidates to be included in a deal that is too good to pass up this offseason. Make no mistake about it, the value has to be right. Hachimura's defensive impact and versatility serves the Lakers well. Reaves has steadily grown into a borderline star on one of the better contracts in the league. Any trade talks involving either player would need to have the Lakers as the unquestionable winners of the trade. However, the idea of either being largely untouchable altogether would quickly fade with a series loss in the first round. The Lakers are not exactly a team rich in draft capital. Potential upgrades on the trade market in the offseason would have to come at the expense of dangling your own players. One would imagine Rob Pelinka will not be eager to push either out of town. Despite that, a complete unwillingness to move one, or both, should not be expected either. Disastrous Lakers trade from 2019 is still haunting them in these playoffs. A few months before they acquired Anthony Davis, the Lakers gave away a player who could solve a lot of their problems right now. The Los Angeles Lakers are down 3-1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves and have their backs against the wall. They'll need to win 3 straight games to survive, and will have to do it with a roster that is both flawed and exhausted. J.J. Redick made history in Game 3 by playing his second-half starters for 24 straight minutes to finish the game, the first coach to do that in the play-by-play era. It wasn't enough to get the Lakers a win, and now they're headed into a must-win Game 5 with a bench that nobody trusts and a core whose legs may have been pushed to the breaking point. Remember, we're talking about a 5-man lineup that relies heavily on 40-year-old LeBron James to play center, against a jumbo-sized opponent with Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid and Julius Randle in the frontcourt. LeBron has done an admirable job anchoring the defense, but the Lakers desperately need another big body they can rely on, someone who can battle those opposing bigs, crash the boards and control the paint on defense. The Lakers need someone like Ivica Zubac. Ivica Zubac, the 28-year-old Clippers big man, has quietly been an enormous difference-maker for the Clippers over the past few years. And these playoffs have been a bit of a coming-out party for him. According to the NBA's player tracking stats, no one has been a more effective rim protector in these playoffs, and he's done a terrific job making things difficult for Nikola Jokic, who is shooting just 56.9% on 2-pointers through 4 games, down from 62.7% in the regular season. Zubac is averaging 18.8 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 3.3 assists per game in this series, with an incredible 5.0 offensive rebounds per game. He's basically a perfect fit for the massive hole in the Lakers' frontcourt, and he's also a former Laker. Zubac was taken by the Lakers with the number 32 pick in the 2016 NBA draft and spent the first 2+ seasons of his career there. To be fair, he was just 21 years old and a project when the Lakers traded him. But he had flashed clear potential and the return they got for him was embarrassingly paltry. The Lakers traded Zubac and Michael Beasley to the Clippers for Mike Muscala at the 2019 NBA trade deadline. At that point, the Lakers were in their first season with LeBron, one game over 0.500 and locked into a battle to make the playoffs. They went 9-18 after the trade and ultimately missed the postseason. Muscala appeared in 17 games, doing nothing of note, before signing with the Thunder in the offseason, leaving the Lakers with nothing left from the trade. Even if the Lakers had held on to Zubac, he might not still be on the roster. He signed 3 contracts with the Clippers since he was traded, and his current deal, 3-year, $58 million, signed last summer, would have been tough for the Lakers to fit into the rest of this roster. But it's never a good move to give away a youthful asset for nothing of lasting value. And in this case, given the Lakers' struggles and Zubac's emergence, it's understandable that fans would feel let down. Timberwolves are exposing a Luka Doncic problem Lakers can't ignore. The Los Angeles Lakers have to mask Luka Doncic's defensive liability, or it will be the reason they get. Los Angeles Lakers GM Rob Pelinka knew the defensive liability Luka Doncic was when he traded for him at the trade deadline. But he also knew he had some defenders around him that it shouldn't expose him too much. What he probably didn't take into account was that teams, specifically the Minnesota Timberwolves, were going to go matchup hunting and go at Doncic all game long. Jaden McDaniels has made Doncic look non-existent on defense throughout this series, and it's Doncic's liability on defense that has the Lakers on the verge of getting upset in the first round of the NBA playoffs. What Anthony Edwards is doing isn't a surprise. But McDaniels averaging 20 points this series, including a 30-point game already, is never going to work well for the Lakers. Obviously the Lakers won't be able to stop everybody, but Julius Randle, Edwards, and McDaniels can't catch fire. That's the quickest way to get eliminated. You also have to factor Naz Reid as a solid role player, and Donte DiVincenzo has been a solid option off the bench as well. Luka Doncic's defense is a big problem for the Lakers. Former ESPN NBA reporter, Zach Lowe, pointed out that Doncic is rather lackadaisical in the beginning of playoff series before turning it up defensively. He pointed out it happened against the Phoenix Suns and now this year against the Timberwolves. Like Lowe said, why is that? Why can't he just play good enough defense for every game to keep role players from getting hot? The Timberwolves are already up 3-1 and historically speaking, the Lakers won't make it past the first round. It makes you wonder, was the Doncic trade worth it? Sure, you get an elite superstar that's good enough to carry you to the NBA Finals. The Lakers obviously have to look in the post-LeBron James era, which is rapidly approaching. Pelinka obviously did his homework and was able to finesse Nico Harrison to give up as little as possible for a future face of the NBA. But with it, he took on a player that teams aren't scared off defensively. Doncic probably doesn't need to be an elite defender to get any more respect. But he does have to be a more consistent one if he ever wants to win a championship. He's good enough to get a team there, but he hasn't won one yet. It doesn't look like it will happen this year either. It could very well be the one thing that keeps him from ever winning a championship.